Josh Crittle, number 34 in white, versus Chicago State, on March 20, 2013.
We are at the UIC Pavilion in Chicago, Illinois. It's round number 1 of the CollegeInsider.com tournament. Chicago State, with its starting 5, making its first ever trip to postseason play. Gray, Duhan, Dismukes, Quentin Pippen, and Ross will start for the Cougars of Tracy Dildy. UIC will start Gary Talton, a 6'1 senior from Dallas, Texas. Daniel Barnes, the red-hot deep shooter. Hayden Humes, Josh Crittle, and Mark Brown gets the start tonight, a 6'4 senior, or rather sophomore, out of Dallas, Texas. This is year number 5 of the CollegeInsider.com tournament, and the Great West Conference got an automatic qualifier, and that automatic qualifier is Tracy Dildy and the Chicago State Cougars. Tracy in his 3rd season with 10 wins already this year. Kenny McReynolds, what a huge improvement over a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
11 wins now,
wins. Yeah, they more than doubled their output from last year. Tracy's done a tremendous job at Chicago State University, and I said it before and I'll say it again. I think if you're a mid-major player in the Chicagoland area, you have to consider Chicago State. The beautiful new arena, the great education, and Tracy has done a tremendous job on the south side of Chicago.
As again, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the 5th year of this tournament, the CollegeInsider.com, or CIT. Old Dominion beat Bradley in 2009 to win it all. Missouri State over Pacific in 2010. Santa Clara beat Iona in 2011. Last year, Mercer, a winner over Utah State. This year, 32 teams. You have to be over 500 unless you're the Great West champion. And Chicago State, the Great West champion. There you look down on the floor at UIC here at the Pavilion. Chicago State in the green, the Flames in the white. We're all ready to rock and roll. Crittle will jump against Ross. We are underway, and the Flames win control. Kenny, the first 3 or 4 minutes, what do you need to see, first of all, from Chicago State?
Well, from Chicago State, they need to show me that they can continue to play defense. Defense has gotten Chicago State to this game.
As far as UIC is concerned, it's take the ball inside, which is what they did right there. And they went inside to big Josh Crittle, and he is big. It's 6'9", 260 pounds, and he's already earned a trip to the line.
Yeah, see, Josh Crittle is a veteran. He started his basketball career at Oregon, and then he went to Central Florida. This is his 3rd school. So he's been tournament tested, and he's a veteran of basketball play.
Big guys we mentioned with very good touch as well. And you know, Kenny, if you talk to some of the Chicago State coaches, they were concerned about the strength of UIC inside.
Oh, no question about it. You're looking at the strongest guy right there in Josh Crittle. Averaged 10.3 points a game and 5 rebounds.
Quick 2-0 lead for the Flames on their first possession. Jameer Dismukes, a 6'1 junior. In fact, the 5 starters tonight in the lineup for Chicago State are all juniors.
Man-to-man defense by UIC.
Quentin Pippen banged up his shoulder the other night. Let's see if he comes out on fire, and he does. He hurt his shoulder in the win over Houston Baptist. He's got as much range as anybody in college basketball when he's hot.
Yeah, when he's hot, he's hot. He'll take that 3-point jump shot.
This is Gary Talton, senior guard out of Dallas, Texas. Tried to go inside of Crittle, and Pippen poked it away. Pippen's given up a lot of size to Crittle, but he's awfully tenacious on defense. Little shot fake and drive from Barnes, and he misfires, and Pippen the rebound.
A great inside position by rebound by Pippen, doing a great job keeping Crittle off the backboard, and that's a travel.
Good job by Crittle coming out and defending. He knew exactly what Quentin Pippen was going to try to do. Pippen will shoot until he misses.
Well, and see, you can shoot until you miss, but when you have a guy like Crittle coming out on you, you go by him off the dribble drive, or you pass the basketball.
1 point lead here early for Chicago State. Crittle gives on the wing to Talton. We'll see man-to-man defense almost exclusively here tonight by Chicago State. Crittle goes down low, nice feed, good hands by Humes, and the junior out of Valparaiso, Indiana scores.
Yeah, but give the credit to Crittle with a nice bounce pass and feed to post.
He had a very narrow window to deliver that pass, and he delivered a good one. Flames up by 1, a little over a minute and a half into the opening round of the CIT.
And remember, UIC, they have not played in 12 days. So they can be a little rusty, I thought, coming out, but they haven't shown any rust so far.
Duhan hard to the basket. Good defense by Humes coming over to defend. Flames quickly back the other way. Want to go down low to Crittle, working on Ross. And he knocks down a 10-footer.
And that's the mismatch they like. Obviously, coming out, they feel they can go to Crittle.
4-0 run by the Flames. Their lead is 3. Jameer Dismukes, junior point guard from Rich East High School in the south suburbs, finds a seam down the lane and scores.
Oh, that's a great job by Dismukes. He saw the seam, like you said, and he just took it off the dribble and went in for the layup.
Last 2 times down now, guards have been able to get by their men from UIC. So UIC's got to play better defense on the perimeter. Can't afford to get beat off the dribble. Mark Brown comes out top to Josh Crittle. And Crittle is fouled.
I'll take Crittle out there. If Crittle's going to take the ball that far away from the basket, you don't foul him. And that's 2 fouls. So you don't foul him. He's not going to hurt you that far away from the basket.
That young man right there, the nephew of Scottie Pippen, of course, one of the top 50 players of the last half of last century, has a motor. Unfortunately, sometimes he doesn't know when to shut it down. He almost picked up his 3rd foul, and he does.
Oh.
Just as we talk about his motor, he thought he could reach his hand in and tip the shot attempt away from Talton. And Quentin Pippen, Chicago State fans, is going to spend the next 17 minutes and 13 seconds on the bench.
Oh, that really hurt Chicago State because Pippen, with their outside shooting threat, and he hit his first 3-point shot attempt, and now he's going to have to take a seat.
The good news for Chicago State fans on Saturday night in the Great West Conference Championship game, they played very well without him. You'd prefer to have him, but they have played well without Quentin Pippen in the past.
Well, what they need to do is get this young man started. Just coming in, here it is again. You're going to see right there coming from behind, and that's the kind of foul that would drive coaches crazy because, all right, the shot was already taken. He's gotten by you. Don't reach over and make a foul.
Well, Ken, I think it's just what you were talking about earlier. You're too excited to be here tonight.
Yeah, too excited to be here. The good thing for Cougar fans is that Jeremy Robinson is in the ballgame. And he played very well off the bench on Saturday.
3-quarter court pressure by the Flames, 2-2-1, just to slow things down. Now they're going to go sit in the zone at 2-3.
Yeah, because Pippen is down. Your best 3-point shooter sitting on the bench.
Duhan's going to have to step it up. He's got it right wing.
Well, the middle's wide open.
3-try, Dismukes off the mark. Ross had his hands on it. Robinson comes up with a loose ball. Jeremy Robinson skips it to Duhan in the corner to Ross. Nate for 3. Nope. And the rebound to Crittle.
One thing we know that the Cougars will take that 3-point shot. But in that zone, Robinson was wide open in the middle.
Mark Brown working baseline, cut off, and an offensive foul is going to be called on the 6'4" sophomore out of Dallas, Texas.
Great defense by Duhan. How many times have you heard me say, play that outside shoulder? That's exactly what he did. He played that outside shoulder, and Brown had nowhere to go. You cut off that baseline.
Last night in the CIT, Eastern Kentucky beat Gardner-Webb 69-62. East Carolina over Savannah State 66-65. Ryder over Hartford 63-54. We'll have more scores coming up for you in just a little bit. Again, Chicago State slowed down by that pressure, and that's what UIC wants to do, is slow the tempo down.
Yep.
They can use defense to do that as well. Dismukes directing traffic out between the circles. Duhan probes out to Dismukes. Gray for 3. Nope. And the rebound to Brown.
You don't always have to take the 3-point shot.
A quick move to the basket by Barnes. That ball is out of bounds, and it will belong to UIC. We played a little over 4 minutes here, the opening game of the CollegeInsiders.com tournament. UIC, the host tonight, defeating Chicago State. They lead 8-5. And you're watching the CIT on Lakeshore Sports. Next year should be an even better year.
Well, when you look at the 10 juniors, and that's a lot coming back next season, they will have the postseason experience. You can have a lot of talent, but there's nothing like experience.
Then it's time for Tracy Dildy to get busy on the recruiting trail because next year they'll lose
a lot.
About 90% of their team.
Yes, he'll be out recruiting, but the best thing about it is that he has a great thing to recruit to, the WAC conference, starting next year.
Automatic qualifier, and don't forget the Jones Convocation Center recruits itself. Brown to trigger the inbounds, comes into Talton. 3-point lead for the Flames. Big news here earlier for just joining us on Lakeshore Sports. Quentin Pippen on the bench with 3 fouls, and there's a block and 1.
But what a great step through by Crittle. Josh Crittle is double teamed. He does a great job stepping through the double team. Watch him right through the double team. That is a great job getting the ball to Hume for the layup.
Corey Gray tried to take the charge. The 5'11 junior actually played here at UIC in 2010 and 2011 before transferring to the south side. Got there late and picks up his first foul. Hayden Humes finishes off the 3-point play. Critical juncture already here for Chicago State.
Yes, have to score against this zone.
Ever since UIC has gone zone, they haven't scored, but then UIC changes things up, goes back to man-to-man.
Yeah, try to catch you off guard.
Jeremy Robinson, out of firepower. Big game in the championship of the Great West Tournament the other night. Had 13 points in the first half. They tried to feed him on a low post flash, and it was tipped out of bounds. Clark Rosenberg in the ball game. He'll replace Corey Gray.
The Cougars have to get a Robinson started.
Find Duhan on the inbounds in the corner to Rosenberg. Couldn't get it to drop, and Crittle tipped it away from Robinson. Here comes Talton. Feeds Brown and poked away from behind by Duhan. It'll stay UIC ball.
Yeah, he never had control of the basketball. Duhan was able to tip it from behind because he never had control of the ball on the break.
It's a 9-0 run here by the Flames. Brown to throw it in, gets it into Crittle. Dalton finds Daniel Barnes. Down low, Crittle working on Robinson. And we're going to get a foul called on Jeremy Robinson.
And again, Scott, they're going to Crittle every time down. They feel that's the matchup they feel they have the best chance to exploit. And you'll go right back down to him again. You feed it to him. He'll fake once, use the big body. He uses the body to create a little bit of space. And that has been the game plan all night. Get the ball to Crittle.
Well, Tracy Dildy talking to one of the officials saying, look, 5 fouls already for us, 1 foul for them. And there is the head coach of UIC, Howard Moore, 17-15. What a turnaround for UIC in his 3rd year. He's gone from single-digit wins to 17 this year.
Yeah, he went from 7 wins to 8 wins to 17. Great job by Howard Moore.
He grew up not too far from here. We got a couple of public league guys.
Yeah, a couple of, King High School, Tab. Of course, Tracy Dildy, All-Stater, All-American, All-Public League.
Crittle's got a nice touch of the line, doesn't he?
He really does.
8-point lead for the Flames. Rosenberg. Man-to-man defense once again by UIC. They finished 5th in the Horizon League. Ross has been very quiet up to this point for Chicago State. Shot clock to 10. Robinson misfires. And Ross tipped it back out to Jeremy. UIC's defense has been incredible, but there's a nice feed from Dismukes, and Jeremy Robinson finishes.
Well, Dismukes saw that Robinson wasn't guarded underneath the basket.
Cougars pulled it within 6. Brown thought about firing a 3 on the wing, but thought better of it. Here's Crittle. Lob down low to Humes, and a foul is going to be called on Ross, and Tracy Dildy's beside himself.
Well, I think he's beside himself because the whistle came so late. I think he's upset because that whistle came really, really late. Here you'll see Tracy Dildy right there. He's not too happy about it. He just said that was late. I just read his lips. He said that was a late call.
6 fouls to 1. And that's a stat that drives a coach crazy, especially when you're on the wrong end of that one.
Yep, and when you're on the road.
Especially when you're playing against a good free throw shooting team like Chicago State, or rather like UIC.
Here it is again now. Humes gets behind the defense, and it's just a late whistle.
UIC shoots 75% from the free throw line as a team. They'll kill you there.
Now the Flames are going to press.
15-7, 2-2-1, 3-quarter court pressure. Duhan skips it ahead to Rosenberg. Can attack this if you want, and he does, and misfires.
Well, it looked like he was going to pass the ball, like he was going to drop it off, then he brought it back.
Barnes for 3, that rolls in. And UIC starting to pull away here early and have an 11-point advantage. And then a technical foul is going to be called. Yep,
Tracy Dildy gets the technical foul. Here you're going to see we're going to get the pull-up jump shot by Barnes for the 3. Then Tracy calls the timeout and he gets the technical foul as the official walks by him. Here it is again. Yeah, swing it over to Ross. Nothing but net.
Yeah, the big man's got good range. You can shoot it from deep.
Well, he's wide open and do a great job of moving the basketball, finding the open man.
Shoots 35% from three-point land. That's very good for
a big man.
Yeah, for a 6'8" kid, you bet.
Without question.
Chicago State looking to inch closer. Dismukes pulls up and scores.
They're going to give him a 2.
Since the technical, it's a 5-1 run.
And remember, I told you that was a good technical because you also want to let your young men know, look, I'm out here fighting for you guys. I'm not going to give up on you.
Joey Miller running the point guard now for UIC. Joey is a sophomore out of Charleston, Illinois. Started out at Eastern, transferred here, averages 4 a game.
Well, look at the pressure.
Here's Tall on the wing to Humes for 3. No. Duhan the weak side rebound. Cougars look to run. Right down the lane, and he missed the layup.
Well, you won't get a much better shot because nobody stopped the basketball.
Dalton leaves in the corner. 3 in the air from Anthony Kelly. Splashes it home.
Anthony Kelly.
And then we have a foul, I think, against UIC, an elbow thrown
away from the basketball after the shot.
The officials are talking it over.
Well, the question is, will the basket be good? I think it will count.
I thought it came afterwards.
Yeah, I think it did too.
Howard Moore talking to his guys, and I think it was Crittle, based on that conversation right there. Dead ball technical is going to be on Crittle.
Technical foul, Flames, 34.
Yeah, if we can maybe get another look at that right after the ball went through Crittle through an elbow, I think at Ross.
And the official right on top of it saw it.
Well, Nate Duhan, 80% free throw shooter, will shoot 2. And Howard Moore wants to know exactly what he did.
Well, the Cougars have to make these free throws. You want to get back in the ball game with the clock not moving. Free throws are the way to do it.
Nate obliges and knocks them both down. Good start for the 6'3" junior out of Lansing, Michigan, and now it'll be Chicago State ball half court. Duhan sits. Corey Gray back into the game.
A 3-pointer, that could be a 5-point swing from an elbow.
(22-14), 8-point cushion for the Flames. There's Ross. Turnaround jumper. Couldn't get it to drop.
Well, it's a good shot, did everything but fall.
Miller gives it up to Talton.
If you're going to have Crittle at the top of the key, I'll go for that all the time, but now he's in the paint.
Kelly looking for his second 3, missed it. Long rebound to Crittle, poked away Rosenberg. Foul on Clark. 1 in the bonus upcoming here for Josh Crittle. They'll be shooting free throws when we return to the UIC Pavilion. 11:42 to go first half. The Flames lead the Cougars 22-14 in the first round of the CIT. Technical foul on the big guy from UIC, Josh Crittle. I say game on between these two Chicago teams, huh?
Yeah, well, hey, it's a local match, and everybody wants to be on top, and it's the postseason. You want to continue to play. And neither one of these teams have ever won a postseason tournament game.
UIC already 10 of 11 from the free throw line. Crittle 6 points, a couple of rebounds, and now 5 of 5 from the line.
So UIC now 11 out of 12 from the line. Chicago State, the Cougars, 2 out of 2. So they've only been to the line twice.
Yeah, the two teams each have the same amount of field goals with 5. Same amount of three-pointers with 2. Crittle makes them both. The lead is 10. Rosenberg run the point for Chicago State. Robinson down low. Nice feed.
Bounce pass.
Chicago State misses a couple of easy ones.
Yeah, I mean, the pass was right there. The shot is there, but just won't fall.
It looks kind of like, I think it was Gray that misfired on that one. Thought it was going to get blocked. You just have to go straight up.
Right. Can't be timid.
Tried to rifle a pass inside. Picked off. Rosenberg. Dismukes pulls up for three. Ross will track it down. Under 11 to play. 10-point cushion for the Flames on their home floor.
Flames now switch it back up to man-to-man.
Dismukes for three. In and out.
Well, you live by the three, you're going to die by the three.
Here's Talton. Runs into Robinson. Here's Humes now, young man out of Valparaiso, Indiana. His hometown team won this conference this year, the Horizon. Wonder how they let him get away.
I'm sure Coach Drew saying the same thing.
Nice job by UIC getting back on defense. Very good transition defense for the most part up to this point.
Well, that's why they have the lead, because you're not letting the Cougars get into that running gun offense.
Robinson, another big man with soft touch, short on this one. Here's Talton, second team All-Horizon. Kelly from Aurora has it blocked. It'll stay with UIC.
Well, it looked like he wanted to take the open jump shot, then he decided to take it off the dribble. But he wasn't quick enough. So he's not quick enough. Watch the defense, the rotation. If this come over, he's blocked by two guys. He's not quick enough to take it off the dribble like that.
Robinson and Ross each got a piece of the ball. Yeah, if you're going to go, you got to go.
Yeah, he's not quick enough.
Mark Brown to inbound. Here's Crittle. Up and under. Nice move on the inside. Jake Wiegand, a freshman from Virginia, just checked in, already making his presence felt.
Well, what they wanted to do, and they did it at that time, was take advantage of the switch and the height advantage to get the ball down low for an easy layup.
Rosenberg stripped away and stolen. So Wiegand makes his presence felt on offense and now on defense. There's a collision in the paint. And I think Chicago State's going to come out of there with a basketball, and Rosenberg's going to call a timeout.
Good hustle by Rosenberg. You had a no call, and the ball goes to the floor, and the Cougars go down and get it.
Well, Kenny, you've been around long enough. That's a common story.
Oh, sure. As a matter of fact, I can go share how old I am. I remember when people went to Westinghouse to recruit Eddie Johnson, who was one of the best high school basketball players ever in the public league. And they all fell in love with Mark Aguirre, the junior. You know, who's this fat kid that's scoring 30 points a game with Eddie? And it was Mark Aguirre.
Eddie was pretty good, too.
Oh, he went on to be Illinois' all-time leading scorer when he left there.
That's right.
And played 17 years in the NBA.
Very good pro.
Great pro.
All right, UIC against the pressure. No trouble this time getting it inbounds. UIC back with its starting five. Chicago State gets down to single digits, and Coach Moore goes back to his starting unit. This is Talton out top, playing a little two-man game there with Hayden Humes. Barnes down low to Crittle, working on Aaron Williams.
This is what they've been doing all night.
Owen Williams looked like he got mostly ball.
Boy, the UIC bench not happy, but they have to be careful. That's going to be on Aaron Williams.
And we have a break in the action. Aaron Williams puzzled. Chicago State bench puzzled. UIC in control, up 9. Look at the free throw differential, Kenny.
Yep. Well, each team have made 6 baskets. But from the free throw line, Chicago State, 2 out of 2. Illinois Chicago Flames, 12 out of 15. That's the difference in the ball game. But that also tells me that the Cougars are taking too many three-point shots. When you attack the basket, when you drive to the basket, you get fouled and good things happen.
There's Crittle at the free throw line.
But personal fouls, 10 against UIC only. 10 against Chicago State, 2 against UIC.
Crittle finally misses a free throw. At least what the Cougars are thinking. Perfect on his second one. 10-point advantage for the Flames. I think all in all, considering everything that's went on, Tracy Dildy can't be too upset only being down by 10.
Yeah, especially with Pippen only playing a minute in the ball game.
Boy, Duhan powers right by Talton and scores.
And again, what did I tell you? When you attack the basket, good things happen. You have to keep attacking the basket. take the three if it's open, but don't force the three.
Daniel Barnes has just 3 points for UIC. He's averaged 14 a game the last 14 games. Steps up here and fires a three and misses. Good weak side rebound by Holmes.
Great side rebound. Here's a little Crittle again.
Well, he's from Hales Franciscan. Started off there, then went to University of Central Florida. University of Oregon, ends up here at UIC and is dominating this basketball game. He's got 11.
Yeah, he's tournament tested. He's been to the big time.
Aaron Williams can stroke it from deep. Not this time. Chicago State now 3 of 9 from behind the arc. Gary Talton gives to Crittle, poked away from behind by Duhan. He'll try to win the race to the basket, and does.
Well, you're getting your offense from your defense, and that's one thing that the Cougars have been doing the last few weeks. And when they went on this nice stretch run, it was because of their defense.
8-point lead. Crittle to Talton. Shot clock is at 12. They're going back down to the big man. Out front to Talton for three. That is good. Gary Talton has scored in double figures 25 times this season, 46 times during his 2-year career.
Good recognition again by Crittle. Knows now that they're going to double team him. They're not playing one-on-one, so he's looking to the weak side for the open man when he's double teamed.
A huge three for UIC. They get that cushion back.
Boy, a lot of contact there. Well, that was a lot of contact.
Talton will bring it up. Tries to probe the lane. Out to Humes. And we're going to get a charge called against UIC. This will be on Hayden Humes.
Yeah, you just can't knock your man down. It's been a physical basketball game all night. Let's see if we can see it away from the ball. Watch Humes. After the pass, he just runs over Corey Gray.
So Tracy Dildy gets a call, and he's got to be happy about that.
He hasn't gotten many.
Here's Rosenberg for the Cougars, winners of the Great West Conference, beating Houston Baptist Saturday night at the Jones Convocation Center. First ever trip to the postseason, first ever championship of any kind in Division I. Aaron Williams tried a little dipsy-do up and under and couldn't get it to drop.
Boy, if you're going to take that shot, I would like to see him just palm the ball and dunk it from the other side.
Barnes can shoot it with anybody. 72 threes this year in the Horizon League. That was number 1 in the conference.
Right. See, if they come back down, you miss a reverse layup. They come back down for the three.
6-0 run by the Flames. Their lead is at 14. Oh, Crittle erases Dismukes at the rim.
Welcome to the Josh Crittle Show.
Barnes looking for back-to-back
He's got to
threes.
take a timeout. He's got to take a timeout.
3 threes in a row by UIC, and all of a sudden it's a 17-point game.
Boy, I thought he was going to take a timeout. He's going to let it go.
Tracy Dildy's already used 2 of his timeouts, trying to keep some in the bank. Duhan. Approaching the 4-minute mark. Chicago State needs a bucket in the worst way, and that's not going to get it for him. Good rebound, though, by Williams. Strong on his jump hook. Lost the ball. Gets it back.
Well, they're getting great shots. I mean, there's a layup. The ball just not falling this half for Chicago State. You can't ask for a better shot than a layup.
Last 3 possessions, 3-point field goals for the Flames. See if they go for 4 in a row. Something basketball people call a heat check. See if they fire one up here.
I think you get the ball to Crittle first.
Talton calls for the ball screen. A little slip there by Crittle. On the wing to Humes. 4 in a row.
But you notice, see, you give it to Crittle, then he looks weak side because he felt the double team coming, and you get it out to Humes for the three.
Folks, it was 29-21 at the 6-minute mark. A 12-0 run by the Flames. 4 straight possessions, 4 straight 3-point baskets. And the Cougars are in shock. There's a foul and free throws upcoming here for Jameer Dismukes. And we have a break in the action with 3:11 remaining. UIC, well, their nicknames the Flames, and they are on fire. They lead by 20.
Well, this is what the Flames don't want to do. You don't want to foul, stop that clock. And I'm sure that's what Howard Moore's telling this guy. Hey, guys, don't stop the clock. And as a matter of fact, you see he's going to bring back 3 starters because he's upset because they stopped the clock. And you're going to give the Cougars a chance to chip away at that lead with the clock not moving. You don't want to stop the clock when you have a 20-point lead.
Right. Jameer Dismukes has missed his last 2 free throws after making his first one. Chicago State needs every point they can get. Free throw is up, and this one is good. And coming up at halftime, first-year athletic director Dan Schumacher from Chicago State joins us courtside. We'll talk about his team's first-ever postseason appearance and what lies ahead for the team from Chicago State University.
Well, what a great job Dan has done taking over at Chicago State. I mean, he has put this program into the 21st century. He really has.
Also have highlights and stats of my guests. A lot of shots of three-pointers from UIC. You know, talking about Schumacher, there's a really good article by David Hall.
I saw that.
The Chicago Tribune today. One of the better articles you'll see. There's a turnover. Here comes Ross. He's going to go right to the rim. And Crittle blocked it.
Crittle blocks it.
See, that's the inexperience factor, I think, right there. Instead of Ross going in as hard as he can, ball in 2 hands, going up the dunk, and he tried to split 2 defenders and go up.
Yeah, and not at this level. You can't do that,
No.
especially with a guy like Josh Crittle, who's so big and physical.
Well, let's face it, Crittle's a high major player.
Well, yeah, you know, he went to Central Florida, and he also played at Oregon because so he's a big-time player, and he's been through a lot. He's a very experienced basketball player.
Approaching the 1-minute mark of the first half. 18-point cushion. Nice drive down the lane and finish from Corey Gray.
You see what happens when you attack the basket?
It's at 16 now. It's 29-21, and then 4 consecutive threes by UIC has blown this one open. Talton will try from way downtown and miss. Chicago State with numbers, a 4-on-3. Rosenberg. Dismukes back to Rosenberg. He finds a seam and a block, and Rosenberg will go to the line.
And one thing that the Cougars have to remember, you cannot get all of this back at once. So this is what you want to do. You want to attack the basket. Here you go off the fake, off the dribble drive. You just attack the basket. You go up strong with that left hand, and you're going to get the foul there called on Humes. But remember, you can't get it all back at once. Here it is again, off that dribble drive. There's your contact. So you attack the basket, you get fouled. Now maybe you can chip 2 more off without that clock moving.
Like Kenny, they've had success all night long, the guards getting into the paint.
But they haven't been able to finish. That's the problem.
Well, and talk about chipping away. It's a 5-0 run now, 12-0 run by UIC. The Cougars have scored the last 5 to get within 15, and to make here, they're back within 14. The young man you just saw there, Humes, is a very nice player, very talented.
Now Chicago State, they need to stop.
1-2-2, 3-quarter court pressure. No trouble at all for UIC. Crittle in the paint.
What a
nice
pass.
cut and pass. Kelly from Crittle, who's doing it all tonight.
Boy, once Crittle touched the basketball, he just dropped it off. That's at least 6 assists now for Crittle.
Not sure if we'll see that press again for Tracy Dildy after UIC just carved it up. Last shot time now for the Cougars. Ray gives to Rosenberg. Rosenberg good at creating. Crossover, pull up. And that'll do it for the first half of play. One of these 2 teams is going to win their first postseason contest ever. And at halftime, the UIC Flames lead the Cougars of Chicago State 46-30. Coming up at the break, Lewis University, or check that, Chicago State.
Josh Crittle has just been unstoppable tonight.
Well, he's on his way to a triple-double, 11 points, 6 rebounds, and for a big man, 6 assists.
Yeah, but what he's doing so well, once the Cougars decided to double team him, he's looking weak side and finding a wide open man for a wide open jump shot. So he has a great basketball IQ. It has really been the Josh Crittle show tonight.
On the highlighted matchups tonight going on right now, Green Bay is down in Peoria taking on Bradley. South Alabama battling Tulane. Oral Roberts against UT Arlington. And Air Force taking on Hawaii tonight.
So a lot of good basketball being played tonight.
A lot of good teams, big name programs. Fifth year of this tournament, the winners, Old Dominion in 2009, Missouri State in 2010, Santa Clara and Mercer in 11 and 12.
Well, the Cougars need a basket to start this. Yeah, but I like this. Ross going down low. He didn't make it, but he did a great job of getting that shot off, using his body to create a little space.
Quinn Pippen is starting for Chicago State here in the second half, despite those 3 fouls. You're down by 16 at the break. You can't save him.
No, he had to come in and play.
Down low to Crittle. Little turnaround jumper's up, and he missed one. Pippen the rebound. Chicago State trying to win in a very tough place to play, and there's Pippen now, 2 for 2 on the night. Both of them threes.
Well, unfortunately, he only played 3 minutes in the first half.
Talked about how tough a place this is to play. The Flames 11 and 4 here this year. Notable wins over Colorado State, Loyola, and Wisconsin Green Bay, along with Wright State. Colorado State, an NCAA tournament team.
Yeah. Well, Howard Moore's done a great job here.
Barnes throws it away, trying to hit Humes on the block. Humes goes, my bad.
Yep. He didn't have a good angle. You need an angle to get that, feed that post. He did not have a good angle. So now, do you get a ball to Pippen? Let him try for another 3?
I think you have to.
He hit his last one. Why not?
He's posting up now. Almost a steal out front by Daniel Barnes.
Open. He was wide open, too.
Little step back for Pippen.
That's going to be a 2.
Quentin Pippen feeling it tonight.
Well, he was wide open, and then he came off of a screen.
2 Cougar players ran into each other, and that almost gave an odd man break for UIC. In fact, they had one, just didn't take advantage of it. Here's Barnes looking for a 5th 3. Halfway down. 11-point game. Chicago State looks to add to it. Duhan.
Great spacing, great ball movement. The ball just wouldn't fall.
Well, that would have been huge to get this back down to single digits. Barnes baseline. Humes for 3.
But you got to close out like that. You cannot leave him wide open. You have to close out.
He's a 40% three-point shooter. Bumps it back up to 16. Good spin in the lane by Duhan. Lost control of the ball. Pippen finally missed one.
But look at that hustle. Look at that hustle by the Cougars.
We have a jump ball between Crittle and Ross. Ball's going to belong to the Flames.
Great hustle, though, by Chicago State. Going to the floor, trying to get that basketball. They have really, really come out playing hard here in the second half.
Largest lead of the night for UIC was 20. That was when it was 41-21. Chicago State, since that time, has actually outscored UIC, but they dug themselves a big hole. And
that's the question. Was the hole too big? Can you dig yourself out of it?
Pressure in the backcourt. One thing you can't do, too, if you're Chicago State, is cheat too much on defense.
Right. Boy, I thought they were going to call it travel.
Instead of foul, and Mark Brown will shoot free throws.
Boy, it looked like he took an extra step.
Chicago State, the personal foul, 42, Matt Ross.
Let's see, does he take a step here?
Mark Brown on the line.
I'll leave that one to you.
Well, I thought he did.
Second foul on Ross. Free throw no good for Brown. Brown hails from Dallas, Texas. And that man, Howard Moore, after graduating from Wisconsin, that's taken some assistant coaching jobs and gets a job here at UIC, and this is 3rd season. Born and raised in Chicago, went to Taft High School.
Yeah, born just, what? And raised a couple of miles from the UIC Pavilion.
$14-point game. A corner. Gray, 3.
Boy, they really come out shooting well. They've come out shooting well, but the question now, on defense, can you stop what UIC's been doing? Getting the ball to Crittle, then they swing it out for 3-pointers.
And an offensive foul is going to be called on Crittle for throwing a little elbow into Matt Ross.
They warned him once. They gave him a technical foul the second time. Then they warned him again. Because the official actually came over and talked to us about Crittle's elbows.
But Coach Moore's not happy at all. Ross and Crittle bumped chests, and then Crittle spun around and threw a little elbow into Ross. It wasn't hard, but from behind it did look like an elbow. I watched the entire thing.
Well, you can't complain if the officials are consistent about it. And they've been consistent all night, and they warned him about it.
Pippen had a mismatch on Crittle. Instead of driving by and pulled up for three and missed it.
And see, that's what happened when you live by the three and die by the three. You didn't need a three. You should be able to drive right by him.
Second time this half. Oh, a steal by Dismukes. Second time this half, Chicago State's been within 11. And a smart move there by Dismukes to bring the ball out. He sensed the offense was out of sorts. Dismukes all the way to the basket, up over. Crittle misses. Good defense by the UIC big man.
Another layup missed by Chicago State.
Barnes defended well, gets his own rebound. Can't finish that one. And we're going to get a technical.
Technical both ways.
On Brown and
now,
Ross, and then Pippen gets involved.
And if they give a technical on Pippen, that's going to be his fourth personal.
Well, this is something you do not want to see.
No, you don't want to see that. Guys were pushing and shoving a little bit. Oh, let's see what they're going to call.
There's going to be a big conversation at half court, and let's go back to how this all started.
Okay, now you're going to see Ross with the basketball. Ross gets tangled up right there with Brown. They talk. Pippen comes in.
Fans, we've got a timeout on the floor.
So we're going to call an immediate timeout. They're going to take the 16 timeout right now.
And straighten everything out, and we'll come back to the UIC Pavilion to tell you what comes of what could be multiple technical fouls.
Now here comes Josh Crittle, and we received another explanation from the official. He said the first technical was a flagrant one. The second one was unsportsmanlike. It was unsportsmanlike, so another one he would be gone.
Well, since the NCAA has gone to flagrant one and flagrant two, I've kind of, can you be honest with you, lost track of, what's a technical, what's not?
Yeah, I just think two technicals, then you should be gone. The old school way.
Well, that's what happens if you're on the bench and you get two technicals.
Well, see, you got to double team Crittle right here.
We're going to get a push on the inside against Chicago State. That should be number 7, and that should put UIC in the bonus, and it will. That was on Ross, number 3 on him.
Well, see, you have to double team Crittle. Right there, he lost the ball, but he was fouled, but you have to double team him.
It was actually on Robinson. Beg your pardon, that was his third as well.
Boy, Ross hurt his hand. He's coming out. He's looking at his thumb. But you can see right there, he's shaking his thumb.
Here's Crittle at the free throw line. And he makes good on his first one. Crittle now with 12 points, 8 of 9 from the line on the night.
You don't see many guys his size with the touch that he has from the free throw line. Boy, it's a beautiful touch.
Josh Crittle doesn't want this to be his last game. He's been around college basketball, Central Florida, Oregon, but doing it tonight. On a bad pass, Ross to Duhan.
Well, you have to take your time. Duhan started to cut towards the basket before he had the basketball. I mean, Ross saw him wide open, but he started to cut before he had the ball. Slow down, take your time. Don't get so excited.
Well, look at that turnover discrepancy. They're only 4 for Chicago State, and that's the main reason they're in this game. Everything else is going against them, and that's a 5-second count. As Gary Talton was just dribbling around, and he was being pressured. There's turnover number 13 on the Flames.
Boy, great pressure by Duhan. Well, this has been Chicago State's style of basketball the last month or so.
Well, Kenny, we've seen a half a dozen games now this year on Lakeshore Sports with Chicago State. They have improved an enormous amount. I mean, it's not even close where they're at now as opposed to where they were.
Yep. And I'm telling you, it starts on the defensive end. As Nate Duhan gets the nice feed and the layup. But, yeah, it starts on the defensive end. And that has been the commitment for Tracy Dildy's team to get to where they are here tonight.
Well, that's what Dildy did when he played.
Yes,
he just wouldn't let you score.
So now you put Ross on Crittle, which I like a lot better.
Barnes almost traveled. This is Humes. Little two-man game here. Talton crosses Ross over.
Boy, look at the hustle by Crittle.
He's all over the place.
I tell you what, he's done everything tonight.
Fresh 35 for the Flames. For Crittle, that was his 7th rebound. Oh, nice drive. Shot is missed, out of bounds off Crittle. It'll be Cougar basketball. They can inch yet even closer.
You can't give the baseline up like that. They're going to make that shot more often than not. Talton's not going to miss that shot often.
Chicago State fans making some noise behind us. Their team is within 4. A little over 9.5 to play. Rosenberg runs in and has earned a trip to the free throw line.
Well, and that would have been an and one.
That is the 4th foul on Josh Crittle. And he will have to come out of the ball game.
Yeah, and if he does not, you keep going to him. If he doesn't come out, which I'm sure he will, you go right at him. And then when he gets the ball on offense, when he puts that shoulder into you, when he likes to back down, you fall. You scream as loud as you can, and you fall.
Rosenberg is 74% free throw shooter, misfires on the first. Crittle out, and back into the game is Joey Miller.
I'm going to tell you why Rosenberg missed that free throw. He rushed it. As soon as he got the basketball from the official, he just put it up. Take your time, bend your knees, relax, follow through. We have, you got 30 seconds. There's no need to rush it. So that's much better. Much better. I can see from the way when he left his hand, he took his time, relax, follow through.
3-point lead for the Flames from the Horizon. You have the Horizon against the Great West that will no longer be in existence after tonight. Talton guarded by Ross. He thinks he can take him. Shot clock at 10. But Ross playing good man-to-man defense. Almost a double dribble.
Oh, Ross almost had it.
Shot clock at 1. Barnes.
Whoa.
And then a foul is going to be called on the inside against Will Simonton.
And see, that's what happens when you play so much one-on-one. Then what are you going to do? You're going to give the ball to Barnes with a second to go. But he has to put it up.
This will be a 1 and bonus now for Chicago State. And Kenny, Talton was convinced he had Ross. I mean, it was a mismatch, but he chewed up the whole clock.
But when Ross doesn't give and you're covered, then just give the basketball up. You're standing out there wasting 24 seconds. Then you throw the ball over to Barnes and expect him to do something with it with 1 second to go. You have 4 other guys in white shirts.
Here comes big Josh Crittle back in the ballgame. Mark Brown re-entering as well. Simonton sits, Miller sits. So they have their guns back in the game. All 5 starters on the floor for UIC, including their star, Josh Crittle.
What a ball game Crittle has had tonight.
Duhon at the free throw line, 80% from the line. And he misses the front end of the bonus.
And if Crittle gets the ball and he likes to put that shoulder down and bounce and post you up, I fall. Right away, I fall down.
61-61 right away. They go to Crittle. They don't even wait till he's warmed up.
See, I would fall right there. When he put that shoulder down, I'd have hit the deck.
Josh Crittle. He's got 13 points. 63-61.
So I fall because he's going to make the basket or you're going to get an offensive foul.
Baseline jumper, back of the rim. Rebound to Barnes and UIC. So Dalton will walk things up. He finds Barnes. High post to Tunes. Barnes left wide open. You can't leave him open.
Can't leave the shooter open.
He's too good. 5-point cushion.
The question is, have the Cougars used all their energy to tie this game up? You're in a 20-point hole. It takes a lot of energy to get out of that hole. They had the game tied at 61, but now you're on a 5-0 run by the Flames.
Smukes tries to answer with a 3. Not a good shot. So UIC in the midst of a 5-0 run, and they have the basketball, approaching the 4-minute mark of the ball game. This game is everything that experts thought it would be. Talton for 3. That's no good. And out of bounds to the Cougars. Folks, we got 4 minutes. It's a sprint to the finish line. The Flames and Cougars in the opening round of the CIT. UIC's up by 5 on Matt Ross and the Cougars. And Smukes was the only one who got past half court.
Right. again, they have to be tired. They tied the game up at 61, but then it seemed like all of a sudden they were running in the mud.
Chicago State played last on Saturday and a game Friday night as well, the semifinals and finals of the Great West Tournament. UIC hasn't played in 12 days.
They were worried about Russ, but one thing Coach Morey told me he did during the 12-day layoff, they scrimmaged with the referees. They brought in 3 officials to try to simulate game action.
Crittle back in the ball game. Dismukes tries to make it a 5-point game, and he does. 3:02 left to go. Full court pressure by the Cougars. Rosenberg the steal, and he is fouled. Foul will be called on Daniel Barnes. The pressure pays off.
Yeah, here's the steal right here. You go in with that left hand, and Barnes knocks him down. The key thing now, make your free throws.
2 upcoming for Rosenberg. Double bonus.
Rosenberg shoots 2.
Chicago State's made a living at the free throw line their last 3 games. 17, 19, and 21 free throws in their last 3 games coming in. And tonight they're getting up into the mid-teens, so they're headed back in that direction, which is where you always want to be.
You're right. Well, he's going to have to bend his legs on this one. That's even better because he shot that first one straight up. So this would be much better because he bent his legs. Just when he was just dribbling the basketball, he bent his knees.
2-possession game. Talton in the backcourt. And Ross is going to get called for a bump on Barnes. And that will be team foul number 10 against the Cougars. So 2 free throws coming up here for Barnes, who is just a 66% free throw shooter. And that's low considering he shoots the ball as well as he does from 3.
Right. Now after this first free throw, Josh Crittle will come out.
Barnes shoots 2.
You don't want him picking up his 5th foul on defense. So you'll see the offense-defense substitutions.
Barnes makes it 5. Wiegand in, Crittle out. Wiegand out of Herndon, Virginia. Went to high school out of Military Academy.
A lot of discipline.
I wonder if it was needed or just suggested. Both free throws are good. He looks like a nice young man.
Well, Cougar need a basket.
6-point lead for UIC, trying to advance in the CIT and get their first ever tournament victory. Pippen against Brown to Ross, looking for his 7th 3 of the night. That was no good.
Well, that's a good play, though.
And a good pass by Pippen. You know he wanted to try to take his man.
Well, if I'm Chicago State right now, you're going to have to pressure the basketball, but you don't want to foul that far away from the basket. I think you pressure the basketball. Hopefully you can get a steal. And both of these teams are happy to be here.
Absolutely so. And there is a different feel about playing in March.
No question about it. What a job for Tracy Dilge, the first postseason tournament for Chicago State since going to Division I. Can't say enough about the job he's done.
And UIC less than 2 minutes away from their first ever postseason win. So both ways tonight looks like going to be history made for 2 Chicago teams, 2 state schools.
Boy, look at the Cougars diving all over the floor.
At this point, I don't think Tracy Dilge wants anybody to foul anyone.
Yeah, he just said no foul.
Let's just play straight up now.
Yeah.
Talton gets around his man.
Oh, what a move. But look at Crittle.
Crittle's going to earn a trip to the free throw line. Arthur Gage tried to hold on and don't let go.
Boy, Crittle just cleared out a little real estate. Like, get out of the way.
Well, he weighs about 80 pounds more than Gage. Yeah, maybe not 80, but at least 50.
He hasn't done as much in the second half as he did in the first half.
But that first half was special. 11 points,
yeah.
6 rebounds, 6 assists in 20 minutes. Ross returns, Gray returns. Gage and Duhan sit. Well, the handwriting looks like it's on the wall for Chicago State. But coming back from a 20-point deficit on the road to tie the game is something they'll take out of this game as a huge positive.
Yeah, again, you use so much energy to dig yourself out of that 20-point hole.
And to watch this team grow up this year. I mean, there were some moments early in the year, Kenny, where you were wondering, how can this team get any better? They were struggling, bad shots, turning the ball over a lot. Well, that got turned around in a quick hurry.
Yeah, it really did. And I'm trying to straighten my tie out.
You look fine.
But yeah, I tell you what, they turned it around by playing defense.
Gage working hard. Ran out of real estate.
And again, you missed 2 free throws. That's because you're tired. A for effort by Chicago State. They tied the game up at 61, but since that point, it has been all UIC. Nobody's guarding the basket.
There you saw the athleticism of Pippen. He made up about 10 feet on Miller. Wasn't able to hang on, though. The 119 left to play. Looks like UIC is going to 18-15 and on to the second round of the CIT.
What an experience for the Chicago State Cougars. It's been a tremendous growing experience for this young basketball team. Tracy Dildy, only his 3rd year as the head coach, gets to the postseason. You have something to build on for next year.
Timeout taken by UIC as they again have trouble getting the basketball inbounds. And let's give credit to Howard Moore and UIC. This is a good basketball team.
Good basketball team.
I mean, you finished 5th on the Horizon. You're pretty solid.
Yeah. Howard Moore did a great job. He was the right man for the job here at UIC. No question about it. He was the right man for the job. I don't think anyone could have done a better job than Howard Moore has done here at UIC, going from 7 wins to 8 wins to 17 wins.
Looking ahead, the entire starting 5 for Chicago State will be back next year, and I know UIC still has some more basketball to play. Talton's a senior. Barnes is a senior. Kelly starts part-time as a senior. Humes is a junior, still be back next year. Crittle's a senior. So some young people are going to have to grow up quickly for the Flames.
No question about it. But you want to continue to play.
There's that Chicago State breakdown. They'll be in the same boat after next year. And there's another foul on the Flames.
Yeah, why?
Foul be called on Talton. And Ross is going to go to the free throw line.
But
and
Bradley
there's that
won.
final.
Yeah.
From Peoria, 75-69. Well, the NIT, the CIT, they love Bradley because fans in Peoria will come out to the tune of 7,000 or 8,000 at
question.
minimum for a Bradley game.
You better believe it.
Ross looking to get to 20, which would match his career high. Again, that actually came against DePaul back on December 5th down at the Jones Convocation Center. It's nice to see DePaul go to the south side this year. Loyola go south as well. It's about time some of those games and rivalries have been renewed.
Eastern Illinois.
Eastern Illinois, yep.
Yes.
Ross has 19. He'll sit. Gage re-enters. 78-69. A little over a minute left to go. Ball in the backcourt to Crittle. And Rosenberg with a foul.
Chicago State personal foul, 35.
Clark Rosenberg out of Skokie, Illinois.
And we bring back your offensive substitutions, led by Mr. Ross.
Well, if you're just tuning in, game was tied early, 29-21 in favor of UIC at the 6:21 mark when they hit back-to-back three-pointers. That's right, 4 consecutive threes, 4 consecutive possessions. They went up 41-21. Then things started to get interesting. They led 46-30 at halftime. Then the Cougars started to claw back. Made it 52-50, 61-59. And all of a sudden it was 61-61, and this place was rocking.
And from 61-61, the Flames have just taken control.
Gray runs straight down the lane. Can't get the bank. Ross tried the tip, no. A lot of effort still, and if you're Chicago State at this point, probably no use in even fouling.
No, don't foul now. No need to.
Just play hard.
Yep. What an effort by Chicago State. An A for effort. Tracy Dildy should be proud of this young team.
I don't know if you can hear in our crowd microphone, Dildy's still over there coaching like it's a 1-point game.
Oh, yeah. Well, you coach until the clock says you can't coach anymore. So no foul.
Barnes.
UIC will advance to the second round. They'll probably go to Bradley or Northern Iowa. Keep it in the Midwest, I'm sure.
Traveling violation going to be called there. It'll be Chicago State basketball with 29 seconds left to go.
So the Cougars tied it at 61. They've only scored 8 points since that time.
19-8 finish here by the Flames. Long three is short. Tracy Dildy wanted that score up into the 70s, I guarantee he was not happy with that shot. And Dalton will bring it up, and he'll just try to dribble out the clock, doing his Marcus Haynes impersonation.
Congratulations to Howard Moore, UIC's first postseason victory ever.
And it comes at the hands of Chicago State. They gave a valiant effort here tonight. They run out of gas and they come up short. 80-69, your final score.